Are we live? Yes, we are live. Okay. Join the session. Come on. Let's share the link. Good evening, good evening. Okay, Rajib, hello, hello. Yes, Pohar, good evening. 5 students have joined till now. This will be our last session for this chapter, okay? So what's the time? It's 8:05. Okay. Right, 6 students have joined. Share the link. Share the link of this video. Okay. Let others join too. Invite your friends. Invite your friends. Everyone is welcome here. Yes, hello, Manvi. Yes, Manvi, hello. All right, so I think we shall start our session. This will be our last session for this chapter, okay? We'll discuss just a few more questions from our NCERT, and starting from the next session, we'll be discussing PYQs. All right? Six students are watching. Okay. Eleng Chai have joined. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Okay, let's start. Let's start. What do we have? See, first of all, those who have missed session 4, okay, those who have missed session 4, you can watch the video just around 3:50 or 3:55 p.m. I was live for 1 hour. There I discussed about how to find sum of n terms for an AP. Right. So we have just 6 or 7 questions left from our last exercise from NCERT, and we'll just be discussing that. And with that, we'll close this chapter. Okay? All right. So let's start. The question says us to find the sum of the first 40 positive integers divisible by 6. Okay. What do we have to find? sum of the first 40 positive integers. 40 positive integers. Alright, 40 positive integers, which means we have to find this S40. What do we have to find here? We have to find S40 here. 40 positive integers, and these numbers should be divisible by 6. Okay, these numbers must be or should be divisible by 6. Now, first of all, let's write numbers divisible by 6 are. What are the numbers divisible by 6? We'll start from 6, then 12, 18, 24, and so on. Okay, these are the multiples of 6. Multiples of 6. Multiples of 6 will be divisible by 6, right? Okay, so we have this number. Now it forms an AP, right? It forms an AP. It forms an AP. Here, if it forms an AP, the first term will be 6. D will be 12 minus 6, which is 6. Okay, so we have our first term and we have our common difference. Now what do we have to find? We have to find the sum of the first 40 positive integers. So we have to find S40. S40. We have to find S40. Okay, first I'll write formula. How to find Sn? How to find the sum? What is the formula? N by 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. This is the formula to find Sn, right? We have to find 40 positive integers, sum of first 40 positive integers, so S40, which will be 40 divided by 2, 2 into a. How much is a? 6, plus 40 minus 1 into d. D is 6. So this we will get 20, 2 into 6, 12, 40 minus 1 is 39 into 6. Which implies S40 will be equal to 20 into 12 plus, okay, let's multiply this, 39 into 6, 6 9s are 54, in hand 5, 3 6 are 18, 18 plus 5 is 23. So we'll get 20 into 234 plus 12 will be 246. Now if you multiply, 6 2s are 12, 2, in hand 1, 4 2s are 8, 9, 2 2s are 4, 4 9 2 0. So this will be our answer for our first question of session 5 today. All right. So take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. S40 is equal to 4920. Hi, EMRS, Karanjia. Hello, hello. Okay. I hope you are clear. I hope you are clear. If you do not understand, please tell me in the chat. Please feel free to tell me in the chat. Or else I'll move on. Only if you say something, I'll know. Alright? So since no one is telling me anything, I think we can move on to our next question, which is this. What do we have here? Read the question again. It's almost same. This question is almost similar to our previous question. Okay. Here we have to find the sum of the odd numbers. Okay. We have to find the sum of the odd numbers. Sum of the odd numbers between 0 and 50. Which means what? Between 0 and 50. First of all, between 0 and 50 we'll have an odd numbers. Right? Between 0 and 50 we'll have an odd numbers. Now we have to add all those odd numbers. How much will we get after adding all those odd numbers? Alright. So first odd number will be 1 and the last one will be 49. So which means 1 plus second odd number 3, third odd number 5, and so on up to how much? 49. So if we do this, how much will we get? From starting from 1 to 49. If we add all these odd numbers, how much will we get? This is our question. Alright? Okay. So first let us write this. Odd numbers between between 0 and 50. Odd numbers between 0 and 50 are 1, 3, 5, 7, up to 49. Okay. Now first of all, see, it's telling us to do this. Basically, it's telling us to do this. In our first session 4, we have already done this kind of question. Basically, it's telling us to do this. From 1 up to 49, we have to add these numbers. Now, how do we do that? We'll use this Sn, right? And we also have a last term here. We also have a last term here. What is the last term? 49 is our last term. We have a first term and we have a last term, right? So if we have a last term, we have two formulas for Sn. We have two formulas for Sn. So if we have last term, what do we do? What do we do? Which formula do we use? We use our second formula, right? We use our second formula. And what is the second formula? What is the second formula? N by 2, A plus L. As simple as it gets, right? N by 2, A plus L. This is our second formula. We will use this. Why will we use this? Why will we use our second formula? Remember, we use second formula when in the question we have a last term given. So in this particular question, we already have a last term. So we'll use the second formula. All right? Now, we have another problem. We have another problem. What is the problem? We don't know the value of n. I've erased it. Okay. We don't have the value of this n. Now, how do we find n? How do we find n? By using the last term. By using the last term. Okay? By using the last term, we'll find the value of n. Okay. First of all, let's write this forms an AP. This forms an AP. Okay? This forms an AP. So here, A will be equal to 1. D is 3 minus 1, which is 2. AN. Now, AN. What is the nth term here? 49. Last term is 49, so AN is 49. So we'll use the nth term formula, which is A plus n minus 1D. The value of A is 1. N minus 1 into D is 2, which is equal to 49. So n minus 1 into 2 will be equal to 49 minus 1, which implies n minus 1 into 2 will be equal to 48, which implies n minus 1 which will be equal to this, and we'll get 24. So n minus 1 is equal to 24, which implies n equal to 24 plus 1, which implies n is equal to 25. Now we know how many terms are there. Now we know from 1 up to 49 we have 25 terms, which means we have to find this. We have to find this as 25. We'll add all these 25 terms, right? We'll add all these 25 terms. Since we have 25 terms, we'll add all these 25 terms because it says find the sum of the odd numbers between 0 and 50, right? So n by 2, A plus L. What is A? 1. What is L? Last term is 49. So 25 by 2 into 50. So how much is 25 into 25? 25 into 25 is 625. So this will be our answer, 625. All right? So take a screenshot again. Take a screenshot. I hope you took the screenshot. All right. Let me remind you again. If you are not clear about anything, comment on the chat. Then only I'll know, or else I'll move on. All right? Let me check the comments. Clear. Okay. Clear. Alentai said yes. Rajib said clear. Okay. All right. Okay. 17 are watching and the likes are 12. So give a video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. So let's move on to our next question. All right. Now read this. Read this question. What do we have? What do we have here? A sum of rupees 700 is to be used to give 7 cash prizes to students of a school for their overall academic performance. Alright? So we have a sum of rupees 700. I have a 700 rupees. Okay? I have a 700 rupees with me. Now this 700 rupees will be distributed among students. How many? See, you can see here. Check the question. How many? 7 cash prizes. So 700, I'll divide it into 7 cash prizes. Remember, I only have the total amount. The total amount that I have is 700. Clear? The total amount that I have is 700. Now I'll distribute those 700 into 7 cash prizes. I'll give it to 7 students. 7 cash prizes means what? I'll give it to 7 separate students, those cash prizes. Out of 700, I'll divide it into 7 cash prizes. I hope you're clear. Alright? Now, if each prize, now it says that if each price is rupees 20 less, each price is rupees 20 less. Now, let's say I have 100 rupees. Okay? 100 rupees. So, next price will be 80 rupees. Next price will be 60 rupees. Next price will be 40 rupees. Next price will be 20 rupees. Or let's say I have 150 rupees. Okay? I have 150 rupees. So, my next price will be 130. Next price will be 110. Next price will be 90. It keeps on decreasing, okay, by 20. Each price is 20 less than its preceding price. Find the value of each of the prizes. So, what will be the value of each of the prizes? Those 7 cash prizes, what will be their value? Now, remember, I have a total sum of 700 rupees, which means, and how many cash prizes are there? How many cash prizes are there? 7. 7 cash prizes are there. Which means S7 is equal to 700. I hope it's clear. Not SN, okay, not SN. Because we have 7 cash prizes. After adding those 7 cash prizes, I'll have the total amount 700 rupees, which means S7 is 700 rupees. Right? Okay. Okay. What will be D? Wait. Let me write this first, okay? Let me write D first. Given. D will be minus 20 because 20 less, it means it's decreasing. Decreasing means what? Decreasing means it will be minus. So the value of D will be minus 20. Okay, and S7 is given 700. Now let's use the formula. I think you can solve this on your own. Okay, let's solve. 7 by 2, 2a plus 7 minus 1, D, what's the value of D? Minus 20. So we'll have 700. Okay. Then we'll get 7 by 2, 2a plus 7 minus 1 is 6. Okay, 6 into 20 is 120. So minus 120 equal to 700, which implies 2a plus into minus will be minus 120 equal to 700 into 2 by 7. 7 by 2, I took it towards right hand side. Then I'll divide this, I'll get 100. So which implies 2a minus 120 will be equal to 200. Okay. So 2a will be equal to 200 plus 120, which implies 2a will be equal to 320. So a will be 320 divided by 2, so 160. So the value of a will be 160. Value of a is 160, which means a, what does a mean? A means the first term, which means my first cash price will be 160. Therefore, 7 cash prizes are, first will be 160, second cash price will decrease by 20, which means 140, then again decrease by 20, 120, then 100, then 80, then 60, then 40. How many cash prizes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cash prizes. Don't write 20. We don't have 8 cash prizes, right? It's up to 7 cash prizes. So 7 cash prizes. If you don't believe, you can add this. If you add this, you'll get 700. Alright? I hope it's clear. So you take a screenshot again. Take a screenshot. I hope it's done. I hope it's done. Alright. Sir, polynomials का doubt है. Bromon blocks. Which one, Bromon? Which one? Tell me specifically. Bromon, which one did you? First of all, have you learned the formula? Sum of n terms. Okay? If you haven't learned the formula, first you learn the formula. Where will you learn the formula? In our previous session, session number 4. This is session number 5. In session number 4, I have explained how to use the formula. Okay? Sum of first n terms, how to use the formula. Here we are discussing the last question of our chapter. Bromon is a blogger, sir. Good, good. With 600 subscribers. Good. Carry on. Carry on. Bromon. All right. Sir, today is first day with you. Okay, Bromon, first day. Then you have to watch my previous session, Bromon. If you are here for first time. No. First you have to learn alphabets, right? First you have to learn alphabets, A, B, C, D. Then only you can learn A for apple. When you learned A for apple, then we can discuss about making a sentence using those words. Right? Means I am telling you to learn basics first. Okay? Learn basics first. When we are born, we cannot run, right? Directly. Right? First we have to learn how to walk. Then, after learning how to walk, then we can run. Right? If polynomials fx equal ax cube plus bx plus c divisible by gx equal x square plus bx plus c, what are you writing? Ax cube. See, tab x home, one more thing. Cubic polynomial is not included in the class 10 syllabus. Okay? Quadratic polynomial. We have a quadratic polynomial. Okay? Tab x home. And those who are watching this stream for the first time, do subscribe and do share the video. As we know, sharing is caring, right? Okay, let's move on towards the next question, which is this. Read the question properly. Read the question. Read the question. What do we have? See, in a school, students thought of planting trees in and around the school to reduce air pollution, which is good. Students took an initiative to plant a tree in a school to reduce air pollution. All right. It was decided that the number of trees that each section of each class will plant will be the same as the class in which they are studying. Example, a section of class 1 will plant 1 tree, a section of class 2 will plant 2 trees, and so on till class 12. Okay. Depending on their classes, they will plant trees. Like if I'm class 1, okay, if I'm class 1, I'll plant 1 tree. If I'm class 2, I'll plant 2 trees. Currently, you guys are class 10, right? You guys are class 10. So you will plant how many trees? 10 trees. Class 11 will plant 11 trees. Class 12 will plant 12 trees. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. Class 1 will plant 1 tree. Class 2 will plant 2 trees. Class 3 will plant 3 trees. Class 4 will plant 4 trees, and so on. Okay? This is the first part. This is the first part. Now listen, for the second part, what do we have? There are 3 sections of each class. There are 3 sections of each class. Alright, there are 3 sections of each class. Now let us stop here, 3 sections of each class, we'll discuss it later. We'll keep it for later, okay? 3 sections of each class, we'll keep it for later. Now just think about each class will plan depending on their particular class. Each class will plan 3 depending on their particular class. So we'll start with this. It can be observed that the number of trees planted forms an AP. So we can observe that the number of trees planted, it forms an AP. So number of trees planted. Number of trees planted. 1, class 1 will plant 1 tree. 2, 3, 4, 5, up to where? Up to 12. Okay, this is only for one section, one class. Okay, one section, one class. Remember this, we have 3 sections of each class. Now this, the number that I wrote here, number of trees planted that I wrote here is for one section, one class. Alright, class 1, one section, 1 tree. Class 2, one section, 2 trees. Class 3, one section, 3 trees. Class 12, one section, 12 trees. Alright. If you want to do directly, you can do it directly also, no problem. But you have to multiply and write here. Right. Okay, I'll tell you that later. Now see here. What do we have? A is equal to 1. First term is 1. D is equal to 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. D is equal to 1. Now, how many classes are there? 12. So we have to find how many trees will be planted by the students. So let's see. One section, all the classes. One section, all the classes. How many plants they have, how many trees they have planted together. Let's find out that. So how do we find out that? S12. How do we find out that? S12. Because there are 12 classes, right? 12 classes. So we'll add all this. If we add all this from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 up to 12, we'll get the number of trees planted by each section, which means one section of all the classes. Okay? Now, so n by 2. Which formula will we use? Which formula will we use? Second formula. Second formula. Why will we use second formula? Because we have last term here. Last term is given. Last term is given. What is the last term here? 12. So A plus L. Okay, let's remove this bracket. A plus L. So we'll get 12. Okay, let's cut this. 6 into 13. So 6 3s are 18. 18 and 1. 6 1 is 6. So 78. So they'll plant 78 trees. Now, there are 3 sections of each class, right? 3 sections of each class. Therefore, number of trees planted by the students. Remember, this 78 is for one section, all the class. From class 1 up to class 12, one sections. So, how much did they plant? 78. Now there are 3 sections, which means what? We have to multiply this 78 by 3. 78 will be added 3 times because there are 3 sections. One section of all the class plants 78 trees, right? One section of all the class plant 78 trees. So there are 3 sections of each classes. So 3 into 78. 78 will be added 3 times, right? So 3 into 78, 3 is 24, and 2, 3 7 is 21, 224, 234. Okay, 234 plants, trees will be planted. Clear? Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. I hope it's clear, and I hope you took the screenshot. All right. Is it clear? Is it clear? 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 That's my. Share khairadi, that's my. Rengoku Q0. What's your name? Who is Rengoku Q0? Japanese. Huh? Are you from Japan? Arigato for coming in my stream. Okay, since everyone is telling clear, acha, Gaurav, Gaurav, change your name, Gaurav. Is it visible? Brightness is it too much? Brightness? Can you see the question? Can you see the diagram? Is it too bright? Not visible? Okay. Wait. Wait, okay? This should be visible, okay? All right. Wait. Okay. I hope it's okay now. Now I think it's slightly visible. The ISO was at 1600, so it was bright. Okay, I changed it into 800. All right. Let's discuss this question. So we have a diagram here. Okay, let me bring it here first. Okay, let me bring this diagram here. Come here. All right. Let's discuss this diagram first. Now what do we have here? See. A spiral, okay, we have a spiral, as you can see, spiral, okay, is made up of successive semicircles. Okay, this spiral is made up of successive semicircles, okay, see, semicircles. This, the first one, this, first semicircle, then we have second semicircle, then we have third semicircle, then we have fourth semicircle, okay, and so on, and so on. So the names are also given here, see, as you can see, L1, you can see L1 here. This L1 is the length of the first semicircle, okay. L2, see here, this L2. For the second semicircle, we have the length L2. For the third semicircle, we have the length L3. For the fourth semicircle, we have the length L4. Then for the fifth, we'll have L5, L6, L7, L8, and so on. Now, a spiral is made up of successive semicircles which centers alternately at A and B, which means these centers are changing. These centers are changing. Okay, I'll tell you about this. Centers at A and B, starting with center at A. This is our first center, A, of radii 0.5 centimeter. The radius is 0.5. And for the second, see, for the first semicircle, this is the radius. For the second semicircle, this. For the third semicircle, this. For the fourth, this, and so on, as shown in the figure 5.4. What is the total length of such a spiral? So we have to find a total length, okay? We have to find total length of this spiral. made up of 13 consecutive semicircles. So how many? 13 semicircles. One semicircle, see, one semicircle, two semicircle, then again 3 semicircle, then 4 semicircle, then 5 semicircle, then 6 semicircle, 7, 8, 9. How many? 15. That way we'll have 15 semicircles. We have to find the total length starting from here. Okay, starting from the beginning up to 15 semicircles, we have to find the length, total length. Clear? We have to find the total length. So this is the question. I hope the question is clear. Is it clear? Then tell clear in the chat. If it's clear, tell clear in the chat. Okay, thank you, thank you. All right. Now see, here it's telling the centers. See here, centers alternately at A and B. As you can see, centers alternately at A and B. Centers are changing. Now see, for the first one, the center is A. For the first one, the center is A. For the first semicircle, this is our first semicircle, right? For this, the center is A. Now, if you see the second one, okay, let me change the color, this. If you see the second one, this. If you see the second one, the green color semicircle, the center is B. Now, if you see the above one again, if you see the upper one again, the center is A again for this. Which means for the semicircles above, the center is A. Okay? For the semicircles above, the center is A. For the semicircles below, the center is B. Clear? Clear? For the semicircles above, the center is A. See? For the semicircles below, the center is B. All right? Clear? Now, what is it telling us? What is the question asking us to find? The question is asking us to find total length of 15 semicircles, which means, okay. Yes, brother, you can go back at your place. All right. Okay, see, this is the center. First semicircle, this is L1. All right. Second semicircle, let's take white. Second semicircle, this is L2. Center is here, B, for the semicircle. All right. We have to find the total length of 15 semicircles, which means, see, first of all, we have to find the length from here to here. We have to find the length from, okay, I'll use this, from here up to here. What is the length of this semicircle? Which means the length of this boundary, right? Length of this boundary. How do we find the length of the semicircle? First of all, if it was a circle, how do we find this length? How do we find this length? Perimeter, right? Perimeter, circumference of a circle, perimeter of a circle. What is the perimeter of a circle? 2 pi r. What is the perimeter of a circle? See, what is the perimeter of the circle? 2 pi r. This is the perimeter of a circle, right? Or circumference of a circle. Perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r. Because we have to find this, only this length. Okay? Boundaries length. When we want to find the boundaries length, we find the perimeter. Alright? When we want to find the boundaries length, boundaries total length, we find the perimeter. So we'll find the perimeter of L1, we'll find the perimeter of L2, we'll find the perimeter of L3, we'll find the perimeter of L4, we'll find the perimeter of L15, and then we'll add them up. Then we'll get our total length. Okay. Now this is perimeter of a circle. This is perimeter of a circle. Okay. This is perimeter of a circle. But we don't have a circle. What do we have? What do we have? We have a semicircle. We have a semicircle. Semicircle. Semi means what? Half. Semi means what? Half. This is perimeter of a circle. Perimeter of a semicircle will be divided by 2. So this. Clear? Clear? Perimeter of a semicircle, pi r. Because perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r, perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r, perimeter of a semicircle will be divided by 2. 2 pi r divided by 2. So 2 and 2 cancel each other. We'll get pi r. This. Now, let's write down our solution. Okay. L1, length of the semicircle. Length of the semicircle. Okay. First semicircle. Okay. Let's write length of the first semicircle. So pi into r. How much is r? 0.5. So 0.5 is 1 by 2. So pi by 2. L2. L2 is what? Length of the second semicircle, whose center is B, right? For L2 we have a center B, because L2 is the semicircle below. Semicircle below, center is B. So pi into r. What's the radius? 1 centimeter. So 1.0. 1.0 means 1. So 1 into pi, pi. Okay, let's write centimeter here. Pi centimeter. Okay, pi centimeter. Now let's find L3. What will be L3? Length of the third semicircle. Length of the third semicircle. Length of the third semicircle. Pi into 1.5. So pi into 1.5 is 15 by 10. 5 2s are, 5 3s are. We'll get 3 pi by 2 centimeter. It can be observed. It can be observed that it forms an epi. That it forms an epi. And what is that epi? Pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and so on. Clear? We don't need to find all the 15. We don't need to find all the 15. Okay? If we find just 3 terms, that's enough. That's enough. Okay? What will be A? A is the first term, which is pi by 2. D will be second term, which is pi, minus first term, which is pi by 2. So we'll get 2, we'll get 2 pi minus pi, which will be pi by 2. So our first term is pi by 2. Common difference is pi by 2. First term is pi by 2. Common difference, which is D, is also pi by 2. Alright? Okay. Now, we can easily find length of 13 consecutive semicircles. We can easily find S13 now. S13. S13. Because we already have the value of A and D. So 13 by 2, we don't have last term here. So we'll use the first formula. 13 by 2, 2 into A. What is A? Pi by 2 plus n minus 1. So 13 minus 1. D. D is pi by 2 again. So if we solve this, we'll get 13 by 2, 2 and 2 cancel. We'll get pi here. Plus 13 minus 1 is 12. 12 into pi by 2, 2 and this will cancel each other. We'll get 13 by 2. We get pi plus 6 pi. 6 into pi, 6 pi. And what is pi plus 6 pi? What is pi plus 6 pi? 7 pi. Pi plus 6 pi will be 7 pi, which implies S13 will be equal to, okay, I'll write with different color here so that you recognize. S13 will be equal to 13 by 2 into, what do we have here? 7 pi. 7 pi. And what's written here? Take pi equal to 22 by 7. So 7 pi, 7 into 22 by 7. 7 and 7 cancel. 2, 11. 13 into 11. 13 into 11 will be 143 centimeter. Okay, so the total length of this spiral, okay, total length of 13 such semicircles will be 143 centimeter. I hope it's clear. So you can take a screenshot now. You can take a screenshot. All right. Okay. I hope it's clear. Rajib is Sir Amir favorite student. Are everyone is my favorite student. Okay? No partiality, no partiality. The reason I'm teaching here, I think you understand, no? What's the why am I teaching here? Live streaming.